Now, what do you say about people who, first of all, they go for traditional marriage, and thereafter they proceed to
Court.
for church, for court to
and then
court,
from court to church.
or church.
Like my Igbo friends, they will do 3.
Or 3.
They will do traditional, they will go to court and then come to church.
Oh.
I've joined people like that.
Oh my God. So what do you say about that?
No, you see,
Is that how it's actually supposed to be?
no, that's why I say it's culture. You are doing the same thing, you are repeating the same class. In the East, it is called a banku. Once you pay those leaves, that very day they did that thing, she's your wife, you have the right to take her to your house. In fact, you have to take her to your house. And that's why for us as
So why going to the church?
for us as Christian missiologists, what we advise, have Igbos who have joined to avoid fornication. Do them the same day. And so you see that the traditional marriage
So
happens
are you-
early in the morning.
So now, according to what you are trying to tell me, is that once after the traditional marriage, and you do not go further the church marriage immediately, it means any activity.
The church will not sanction it, sir, because you wanted that. Do you understand? What you are coming for us to do to you is to bless your marriage and give you the Christian creed of marriage. The tradition requires you do some certain thing before you become a man.
So what is the implication? Blessing or not blessed?
No. See, like I told you, in my church, for instance, if you say you want to do traditional marriage, even at the traditional marriage, pastors go there to pray. I've gone to pray for my church member who did traditional marriage. After the traditional whatever, the list and everything brought, okay, they did the traditional wine, whatever, because they are Christians, they didn't give wine.
But who really have the right to bless any marriage? Pastor or the parent?
The parents are the primary people with the official blessings of the children.
So even without pastors, a marriage, once the parent agree
Once the parents said,
and they see
once
it,
normally they'll bring the boy and the girl together and pray for them and say, we bless you. That is marriage, sir. Whatever the church does.
so even if they do not take it to church, it's blessed. It's
And of course,
Yes.
the thing is, what we preach is, if you're doing that because you belong to a community called the church, don't do it without the church knowledge.
knowledge.
I have gone to places where, Pastor, we don't have money. We don't want to waste resources.
All right. I am a member of a particular church.
Yes.
Right? And I want to get married.
Okay.
And I've consulted all the necessary authorities, like both the parent of my girlfriend, my own parent, they're all aware. We pay the dowry and
Yes.
everything,
Yes.
all the necessary things.
Yes.
But I did not involve the church.
And you are
So-
a member of a church.
And I'm a member of
for
that
you,
church.
for you, it's actually an arrow shot out. Let me explain this, sir. What you did is not really wrong in itself. But because you belong to a community of believers, I know, I want to assume.
So I choose not to involve the pastor.
No, listen, sir. Listen, I'm not arguing that. What you did is not wrong. Morally, it's not wrong.
The church where I belong, if you dare do that, they will still have to.
There are church policies.
you have
There
to
are church
pass through.
policies that are not biblical. There are policies of the church that are not biblical. They are just human rules and regulations, sir. I'm telling you that you have not sinned for not involving. So long as your parent, they gave birth to. Check the case with what do you call him, Isaac and Rebecca. That is my reference point. Do you understand? That is my reference point. But involving the church, is it right? Yes, it is right.
And is it wrong if you don't involve the church?
It is not morally wrong, but it can be situationally wrong. Get my point?
Situationally
Yes,
wrong.
it is situational. This is what we call in ethics, the moral ethics. It is not wrong because you didn't violate any rule, but it is situational because you belong
To a
and so long as
particular-
you want the church to be involved in your wedding, this thing you did should have been done with them from the start.
Oh, I don't want the church to be involved in my wedding. So
You just
and that's
go,
why I
your
didn't inform them.
parent bless you, bless her, they pray for you, you come home with your wife, introduce your wife to the church. I did my traditional, I did everything as far as it's concerned. The girl wasn't pregnant, I didn't impregnate her, she wasn't impregnated before we got married. There's nothing wrong with that, sir.
On your own case, you took your time to actually plan for the wedding,
Because I didn't want to beg
right?
anybody for
As much
sponsorship.
as you plan for marriage, because planning for marriage is different from planning for wedding, because you needed to understand what marriage is all about. You know what is actually entails to actually stay with a woman.
Sure.
You understand that has to do with planning for marriage, while planning for wedding has to do with that occasion, that day particularly,
that week.
You know, yeah, that week. You know, so now what is your own advice to our young men and women who actually want to get married and they feel like, I have to go to the church, I must go to the church?
You know, we live in socially pluralized world where pressure is everywhere. We live a fake life. We want to please people that care less to exist, to know we exist. Sir, I conducted a wedding last year under a mango tree.
Oh my God.
No wedding gown.
Under a mango tree. Tell me, I want to know.
Yes. No wedding gown, no suit. The guy and the wife got in material. So, Pastor, I paid my dowry. I want to take my wife. I don't have the money to do elaborate reception, no invitation card. We just wanted you to come and join us and give us the marriage vow. And I did. The parents were there under the mango tree. In fact, just the community people came that day. He said he didn't even give the church invitation.
No, wait. While joining them, did you ask all the necessary questions?
Of course, I have to ask them if they paid the dowries.
That's one.
Of course, they have to do the medical test, because that is what the church asked me to check.
All right.
They have to do medical test, pregnancy test, genotype, and the rest of them like that. They did, and I got it that day. In fact, I made sure they did it. They did it 2 days before the wedding. They did that, and I kept the result with the hospital the day I was going for the wedding.
And even the most fearful question, you know, the fearful question is, if anybody has anything against these two.
You know, that is actually where we got it wrong, sir. This only happened in the court and in the church.
All right.
It happens only in the court.
So anything so that outside
they will not join a wedding on a wedding.
Oh my God, I understand.
So it is to seek for clarity.
So
now, what we do is, when he told me he's not going to do a church wedding per se, I wrote to the church, announce. My church gives the minimum of 3 months. So you announce it, your court gives you 21 days, 3 weeks. Announce it for 3 months before the wedding. If there are issues, let them come up. So that was done before the day of the wedding. Do you understand me? So by the time I came, I met the pastor there, and the pastor said he has announced it and nobody said anything. So it means the young man has been cleared.
But the young man that got married in Sokoto left his wife, you know, he's legally
wedded and still went to do another wedding. That's what I'm saying. Wedding. That's the problem with Christianity. Most of these recent days churches who are only concerned about members don't care what happened. If that wedding was registered in the court, she has the right to charge him to court, and he loses everything he has.
No. It was not actually registered in the court, because most people, just these days that people are beginning to get more concerned about church court weddings, you know.
But again, the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognizes church wedding and
yes, I get, but legally the court wedding, because you cannot travel outside the country without even you as a pastor.
I have my court. I have my court certificate.
So now, church marriage, how that church, because we are trying to say the church are after members. No, how will they now inquire? How will they know that this person was not actually married when already you are in the city? Like now I'm in Kaduna, I can get my friends, I can get new parents
now
to actually represent my parents.
This is why I love the Orthodox churches, sir.
What will they do? They will travel to your village.
They send representatives. ECWA does that till today. Baptist does that. Anglican does that. Catholic does that. They will send representative.
Oh my God.
Yes, and that's what Christianity is saddled with doing. If you come, you are active in the church, you are not alone. Where do you come from? That's the place of premarital counseling. Do you understand? And that's why the church will tell you, print invitation at least a month or two and share. And the church will start reading. You remember? Church will be reading it. Someone who knows you will come up. And that's the reason you see churches like ECWA and most Christian churches are, is there anyone?
So what is the implication, particularly to that person, to such a person, who
for
got
us,
married.
for us as Christians, the Bible is clear on it. They are committing adultery.
All right.
The first wife he wedded with in the church
This is
recognizes his wife.
original wife.
Agani, if he was not a believer in Christ,
Okay, I got married, and something happened. We actually got divorced, right? And what the Bible, the stand of the Bible when it comes to divorce. Now, probably I changed my mind. I want to go back to her, but she's already married to someone else. So what will I do? Do I now have the right to remarry?
you see, the Bible is clear about this, but doctrines differ. The Bible said a man cannot marry as long as his wife is alive.
Yeah, but she's married to someone else.
Sir. I'm coming. But Jesus gave the way out. Said you are only allowed to divorce on the ground
Of
adultery.
Oh yeah, adultery.
It's a case of domestic violence. In this case, as a church, the church we recommend separation for them. Let them separate so that one of them will not die.
But separation is not divorce.
No, that's what I'm saying. Let them separate. Kagani, they should stay. When they realize they need each other and they change, they should come back together. Kagani Magana. Now,
so what's the place of the church when they're actually coming back again?
No. It's just like you are married now and there's issue they separate. Church only does reconciliation. To bring that process of separation is to reconcile. In fact, some churches that have rehabilitation centers will pick the spouse that is weaker, take that spouse to the rehabilitation center and keep the spouse there until things stabilize, and then they return. Especially when threat for life is involved. Do you understand? Now, let's say on that process of the separation, one of the spouse decided to get married. In my church, you know what my church called it? He says that spouse has broken the marriage vow.
Okay, the one that got married.
So the one that is still alive.
No,
let me land now. The one that is still there, not married, in my church, has the biblical backing to seek for divorce and to remarry.
All right.
Because the other one has gone ahead to marry, even if she didn't marry. But this other person decided to get into adultery, and the other party felt, I cannot cope with the memory of this adultery. Is a just ground for marriage to die.
Does this thing? What if, for instance, okay, she's married, right? And probably you want to get married now, and the church says, no, we cannot go ahead with the marriage process. We have to go back and ask that your former wife or that your wife, if she's still interested. Don't forget, she's already married, or probably she have children, right? And what if she accepts? She say yes. She want to go back.
The Bible is clear. She has committed adultery. The guy has the legal biblical backing.
So, all right. So since she has committed adultery,
is a just ground. The Bible said adultery is a just ground for marriage to die.
Oh my God, I understand.
Karajina. So even if, okay, let's say for instance, I come back from work and I found my wife with another man on my bed, and then my memory cannot, I can forgive her, but I will always remember that. The Bible gave me the right to divorce her and remarry. But the Bible says she cannot be remarried. I listened to a pastor recently preaching and said, divorce is not a sin. You can divorce your spouse and remarry. A pastor. Because many of them have divorced their wives. In fact, some of these pastors are married to the third wives now, while the others are still alive. Let me not mention them. You know them, big shots. They're there in Abuja. So what do you expect them to tell their members? If you are an Equa pastor now, and you are caught fornicating, or there's a fornication case on you, Equa will suspend you. But there are big short pastors, because they are the GOs, they were caught with moral failure, but they had the guts to stand in the congregation. As I'm talking now, your viewer will say I'm judging. But the scripture must be followed, sir. We are examples for Christ. That's the reason we have confused Christianity today.
All right. Thank you, our wonderful viewers. I'm sure we have learned a lot. You know, you've said a lot, and I'm really glad to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So until we come your way, I remain yours, Zakaria Micah, popularly known as Micah Dangata, and today we had our very own, our friend, our brother, our father in the Lord, Pastor Benjamin Yamson, and he actually did justice to the topic. So thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep following us as we promise to bring more exciting content that will actually build us spiritually in so many ways. Remember, bless. Bye.
Bye bye.